beautiful question for a very beautiful person. Do you think that pageantry objectifies women?
Thank you for the question. Not really. I don't believe that pageantry actually objectifies the women, because we are here to empower ourselves. This is a platform. Pageantry is a platform where we show what we are capable of. It is a platform of leadership. So I don't think it's actually us. It's us who has to believe. But I don't think pageantry objectifies women, because we are strong enough to handle ourselves. And I think we should believe ourselves and not care about what people say about us. It's a great platform. Thank you. Hello, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Pariksha.
Yes, ma'am.
Pariksha, you look lovely in yellow. It's
Thank
quite
you,
hard. It's quite difficult to carry off such a beautiful color.
Thank you so
Where
much.
you carry it off beautifully. I want to ask you a question. If you were to describe yourself to a 6-year-old, what would you tell her? How would you say what kind of a person you are? What do you do? What are your aspirations? If a 6-year-old asks you a question.
I would definitely tell her that I am just like her inside, in heart. I am equally excited. I'm equally excited and equally loving that she is. I'm equally believing myself like she does. The young child, they do not care what people say. They are very honest and very kind. I would tell I'm just like her, and she can be just like me. Thank you.
So you're still a child at heart then?
Exactly, everybody is.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, so thank you for bearing our being the first contestant. What is your favorite book or a movie? Tell us, please.
I would talk about movie because I love watching movie. I'm a big Bollywood maniac, and big Shah Rukh Khan fan, and I have grown up watching Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. Who doesn't love Shah Rukh Khan? So yes, my favorite movie is Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, and I've always danced in Mehndi Laga Ke Rakhna. So yes, that's my favorite movie, and I enjoy watching it every time. Thank you.
Do you read books? Do you have a favorite book?
I do read books, but being a medicine student, I'm most into my course book only because I hardly get time to study other than my course book. To be precise, I love surgery, so that's the book I am recently studying because I have my exams coming up, yes.
So what kind of surgery do you?
Actually, I just finished my bachelor's, so basically I have not done specialization, so we have to practice in all the fields that we are posted at. So it's not that specific, but I would love to do orthopedics, yes, because we do not have much of women orthopedicians in Nepal. It's like I want to be one of them and make my country proud, yes. Exactly.
You have to use a hammer.
Yeah.
You have to totally be not crazy about breaking bones.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
I really do admire you for that.
Once I went to a doctor and he was like, "You're so big. Like usually girls are not this big. You're big and you're powerful. You need to join army. You're very strong." And I was like, "Okay, if that's the thing, if you're appreciating my power and my strength, I would definitely use in my profession, I would be orthopedics. Why not representing women in my field?" So yes, I want to be orthopedics just in my country, yes. Thank you.
You're from the medical background. Do you give any suggestions to your fellow participants?
Well, for now, in this pandemic, everyone, like COVID is like taking over and we're having panic, and mental health is like taking over. All of them are panicking, and you know, all the misconceptions. I think we all should acknowledge that COVID is real. People are like, it's the new thing, so like people are not accepting it. So COVID is real. We need to practice social distance. Change comes from us. So we need to accept, we need to practice, and we need to keep ourselves safe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, judges. Have a good day.
Hi, judges. My name is Rajni Mishra.
Hi Rajini, how are you?
Hi, ma'am.
How are you
I'm
feeling
good.
today?
I'm feeling really great.
Rajini, tell us one thing about the quality inside you and the people, what quality of your people mostly appreciate, and if you are crowned, how are you going to use that for the upliftment of the society?
I believe that what sets you apart from everybody else in the crowd is something that is my strength. I can stand out in the crowd because I am a confident woman who can lead people, who can aspire people.
So how would you contribute to the society with this quality of yours?
Okay, I've been working with a group in a project where we are working for like women's trafficking, against women's trafficking, and helping women in that community to income generation and making sure that children in that community are educated enough.
Thank you, thank you.
Hi, Rajni.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
Oh, I'm really good. A little nervous for you, though. Okay, if you had a superpower, if you had to choose between invisibility or reading minds, what would you choose and why?
I would definitely go for reading minds because there are times when we are betrayed or we cannot know about the intentions of people. So yeah, understanding what people are thinking about ourselves will really help.
Do you think you have any superpower yourself right now?
I don't think I have any superpower,
Your
but I have
smile-
the power to make a change.
Okay, so that's your superpower. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Rajini, one more question to you. You know, COVID-19 has really changed our lives.
Yes.
We all are living in new normal. Many of our mothers and daughters have gone below the poverty line now. How would you be able to help them if you are crowned? And how would you inspire them to, you know, come above the poverty line again?
As I have already mentioned, I am advocating with a project where we are helping women to generate income for themselves, staying at their own home. And for about the children, we are helping a community school at a place in my district, Nuwakot, named Khangfidi. So yes, it's all about educating children and helping women to generate income.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have time for another question? Yes, we have 3 minutes. Oh, wow. So, what are the games you like to play, or your favorite sport, or I don't know, any app games that you play, and why?
I am not into digital games, but I really used to play badminton in my school days and also race, marathons.
Oh, okay, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Why used to? You don't do it anymore now?
No.
Okay, do you miss
Because
it?
we don't have any, like, I am a CS student, so we don't have any, like, colleges or universities, so there's no any criteria or any place where I can participate. That's why.
Okay.
Rajini, have you had any sort of, you know, failures that you had to face in life, and how did you overcome that?
I have had lots of failures in my life, but I take my failures as a comma. I pause, I gather myself, I pick myself up and move forward in my life.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
About myself? Okay, I am a really passionate person, and I have always imagined myself with a crown, And I am really thankful for Miss Universe Nepal team because I am 5'3" and I am doing this preliminary, and this is like a dream come true for me. So I am really grateful, and I would like to convey the message of love, peace, and to every woman out there to be confident enough to believe in yourself and believe in power of dreams. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Namaste everyone, I am Shrestha.
Hi Rosina.
Hi,
Can you tell us a little more about yourself?
Yes, I am 26 years old. I am an MBA graduate, and being raised in a family where education is very prioritized, they said me to, prioritize on education and then focus on what you want to do. So I did MBA and I went into beauty pageant. Last year I went for Miss Tourism World, and now I'm here in Miss Universe Nepal because I love pageantry.
Hi Regina, nice to meet you.
Malvika,
So my question to you is, do you identify as a feminist, and what does feminism mean to you?
Thank you. I identify myself as a feminist because for me, feminist is being equalist, because in our society, female are still not given much opportunities as men. So until and unless we achieve that equality, we are feminists because we want equality until it's done. Thank you.
Okay. Ani regular basis ma tapaile आफ्नो daily life ma यो gender equality ल्याउनको लागि या gender equality को एउटा forum create गर्नको लागि के गरिरहनु भएको छ आफ्नो तर्फबाट व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट?
हजुर यस्तो चेन्जेस चाहिँ आई थिङ्क कि इन्डिभिजुअल लेभलबाटै हुनुपर्छ, घर घरबाटै हुनुपर्छ। हामीले यसरी पब्लिकमा स्पिच दिनुभन्दा नि आफ्नै घरबाट हुनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। सो मेरो घरमा चाहिँ मेरो भाइ छ, सानो भाइ, र सानो भाइलाई म बच्चैदेखि आफ्नो काम आफै गर्न, अब उसलाई खाना पकाउन मन लाग्छ, खाना खाएपछि उसले आफ्नै भाँडमा सानो सानो कुरा हुन्छ नि जुन हामी फिमेलहरूलाई मात्रै किन गर्नु भनेर हामी चाहिँ अब यस्तै घरबाट इन्डिभिजुअल लेभलबाट नै हामीले यस इक्वालिटीलाई चाहिँ हामी वी क्यान अटेन द्याट फ्रम होम, यसरी चाहिँ गर्दैछौँ।
Okay, so just in the house, not with your friends?
हजुर I am going to say कि अब इन्डिभिजुअल लेभलबाट घरबाट सुरु हुन्छ, charity begins from home भन्छ नि। अब
No, gender equality is not charity. Don't compare. They're two very different things. Would you like to ask another question?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Rosina, you've been talking a lot about education in your introduction, I know. So what does a good education system look like to you? And Nepal, what are the things that could improve in terms of education for everybody, access to education for everybody?
हाम्रो नेपालमा चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ कि एजुकेसन चाहिँ मेरो बेला चाहिँ एकदम घोकन्ते विद्या मात्रै थियो, मार्क्सको लागि राम्रो पर्सेन्टेज ल्याउनलाई घोकेर पढिने। तर आजकल चाहिँ अलिकति चेन्जेस हुँदैछ कि हामी चाहिँ मार्क्सको लागि भन्दा पनि हामी आफ्नो बेटरमेन्ट, आफ्नो फ्युचरको लागि पढ्ने हो भनेर। सो यो कुरामा चाहिँ क्वालिटी एजुकेसन भनेको चाहिँ इट गिभ्स यु द पावर टु भोइस योर चोइस कि पछि फ्युचरमा आफ्नो डिसिजन आफैले बनाउन सक्ने हुनुपर्छ, र त्यसको लागि चाहिँ एजुकेसन इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट।
हजुर, तपाईँ प्रोफेसनली अहिले के गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ?
I am a loan processing specialist in Home Loan Experts. It's an Australian mortgage company.
So यहाँबाट गरिरहनु भएको छ कि तपाईँले?
म यही वर्क फ्रम होम हो, तर अस्ट्रेलियन टाइमिङ हुन्छ, जस्तै 6 AM to 2 PM हुन्छ।
Okay. तपाईँले यहाँ आफ्नो यो बायोमा I intend to work for child education and fight against poverty, hunger and malnourishment भनेर लेख्नु भएको रहेछ. यो सेकेन्ड पार्ट यो poverty, hunger र malnourishmentसँग फाइट गर्नको लागि यहाँले चाहिँ कस्तो सोच्नु भएको छ, कस्तो के प्रावधानहरू ल्याउने सोच्नु भएको छ या कुनै सर्टेन प्रोजेक्ट सोच्नु भएको छ कि छैन?
हजुर, मैले चाहिँ चाइल्डको लागि एजुकेसन र अब एजुकेसनबाट नै हामीले चाहिँ कसरी पोभर्टी हरूलाई हामी कसरी हेल्प गर्न सक्छौँ भनेरै यो कुरालाई चाहिँ ल्याउन खोजेको हो हैन.
त्यो त कसरी?
हजुर,
मेरो क्वेशन त्यो कसरी के गर्ने सोच्नु भएको छ?
एजुकेसन गिभ्स यु द एजुकेसन इम्पावर्स यु र हामीलाई अब भोलि पर्सि फ्युचरमा चाहिँ अब इफ यु आर एजुकेटेड यु क्यान डु you do what you do अनि पछि त्यसले चाहिँ you get also the financial independence र त्यसले चाहिँ पोभर्टीलाई हेल्प गर्न सक्छ र यो कुरामा चाहिँ अब यसको लागि चाहिँ अर्गनाइजेसन्स I am as of yet I am not planning anything तर in long term I am eager, I am really interested in that field कि चाइल्डको चाहिँ एजुकेसन र यो जुन भइरहेको छ त्यसमा चाहिँ I really want to work on that.
धन्यवाद. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Just one more question. What do you think is a good quality or the qualities of a good educator? एउटा राम्रो एजुकेटर बन्नको लागि or शिक्षक बन्नको लागि what are the best qualities that a person should have?
Thank you. शिक्षकको काम भनेको शिक्षा दिनु हो र हाम्रो नेपालमा चाहिँ शिक्षकले चाहिँ अलिकति डराउने खालको पर्सनालिटी भएकोले I think good teacher is one who teaches you and do not intimidate you कि मार्क्सको लागि मात्र हैन आफ्नो लागि गर्ने हो भनेर. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marvika. So lovely to see you all.
Lovely to see you, Surabhi. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm very good.
And you're looking really beautiful in that yellow dress.
Thank you.
So my question for you is, what do you think is your biggest flaw?
My biggest flaw is that I love advocating for women all around the world, but sometimes I forget that I need to be a self-advocate as well and put my voice forward and take care of myself. So given that, I've taken a lot of energy to invest back into my self-love journey and become a self-advocate for me, myself, and I. And it's important to advocate for yourself just as much as you advocate for other women.
But what's your biggest flaw? That's your strength, I believe.
My strength is to advocate for others, but, sorry.
What's your biggest flaw, not your strength? What do you think is your biggest flaw? Weakness.
My biggest weakness is just that I sometimes forget that I need to self-advocate. That is my biggest weakness, but with that same weakness comes my biggest strength.
Then tell us, Surabhi, how do you feel is important money in your life? How do you feel, how do you place money importance in your life?
I think money is a very important tool, but it is not everything. And with every tool comes its impact. So it's about what we do with the money that really matters. And with the different economies around the world, I do believe that money is a very important factor when it comes to building nations and the development of our countries. But again, it's not everything, and it's important to understand the holistic impact of what money can and cannot do.
In terms of development, as you touched one point here, what would you advise would be the most important development in your country Nepal would need to grow?
I think currently the most important investment is in our youth, because with youth comes more creative ideas and innovation, and to invest in their education is to build their minds for tomorrow. And in order for us to invest that back, that's the only way we can bring in new ideas and create a tomorrow that's different from yesterday.
So if money wasn't an issue, what would you do to, uplift the youths here in Nepal?
if money wasn't an issue, I would invest in healthcare, because currently with the COVID-19 pandemic, it is unfortunate that we do not have the proper labs to store the vaccines, and they have been distributing in first world countries, but in Nepal it is an issue that we don't even have the storage proper for our citizens to be healthy with that vaccine, and they rightfully deserve it, as health is a human right. So if money wasn't that issue, I would build labs everywhere and make sure every person that needs that vaccine gets it.
Thank you, Surabhi.
What is your biggest fear in your life?
My biggest fear is that I will lose myself in the journey to find myself. I have dealt with a lot of mental health issues in the past, and with that comes a lot of strength, having gone through depression. But with that, I'm also a writer and a poet, and I've healed through my poetry, journaling things down. And with that journaling and poems, I can share that with the public and help anyone who's going through the same thing and get through it together.
Do you have any hidden talents, you think?
Hidden talents. I think jokes, but whether the public finds them funny or not, I tend to laugh at them myself and just enjoy the joke.
All right.
Yes. I think here I noticed that there's a very large gap between the socioeconomic statuses of the people. There's a very large gap if you're well off and if you're not well off. And that is an issue that I would mend if I were to be given this platform, is to carry that gap and decrease that gap, basically, so that every person can achieve that lifestyle that they wish for themselves. And I think that was the major difference. As soon as I landed, I saw that there was that big gap between the socioeconomic statuses of the public.
So Surabhi, if you win the crown, would you be staying here or you'll go back to the States?
I would be staying here and pursuing work here. I am a founder of a nonprofit, and I do a lot of work here as well with child sex trafficking survivors. Mm-hmm. And I have a clinic here I opened with my nonprofit. So I actually, with or without the crown, I'm here to do some social work. And with the crown, it would be even more helpful to gain that outreach.
So you're actually planning to stay back even if you don't win the crown?
Yes, I got a one-way ticket here, so I'm planning to stay.
Oh, wow. So what's the name of your organization? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yes, it's the Save Our Stars Foundation, and we focus a lot on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of survivors of sex trafficking, and with the specific focus on HIV and AIDS, as I am a chemist and I hold a degree in chemistry. And after my undergraduate degree is finished in May, I'll be pursuing business at Columbia University and hopefully wish to expand this nonprofit even further.
Thank you, Surabhi.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Nina. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good morning, Nina.
Good morning.
You have come from Russia, but do you have any Nepali thing in you? I mean, Nepali blood in you, or do you have some kind of Nepali connection?
Yes, of course I do. My father was born and raised in Nepal, in a small village called Pato in Saptari district. And since childhood, he always wanted to gain that knowledge, to gain education. So he got a chance to move to USSR, and that's what he did. That's where he met my mom. So I am half Russian and half Nepali Indian.
All right. So how do you identify yourself as a Nepali then?
For me, being Nepali does not only mean to be born in Nepal, and knowing language also does not identify you as Nepali fully. For me, being Nepali is more who you are within. Apart from being by blood Nepali, I believe that Nepali people have this warmth, welcoming warmth inside them. They always feel like even smallest things make them happy. And they're very resilient because they went through a lot of things, a lot of historical battles, including some natural disasters, unfortunately. And I can see that they're not giving up. They keep going and they keep that smile on all the time.
Вы можете говорить на русском?
Да, я говорю.
Да?
Это мой первый язык.
Это хорошо. My daughter is Russian,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah,
That's so
I married a
nice.
Russian man, so
That's so nice.
she struggles a lot here because obviously the cultural difference and everything, and also she's quite fair and the brown hair and everything, like, and she does stammer, because of all that, all that pressure. How would you comfort her?
First of all, I do understand how she feels, because I also, a lot throughout my life, I've heard that I'm not Nepali enough, I'm not Russian enough because I don't look Russian. And what I would say is just to be yourself. As cliche as it sounds, just be yourself, because know who you are, know your worth, because other people do not define your worth. It all comes within, that confidence, it all comes within. And if you know who you are, then people will see it and they will accept you for just you.
Thank you. Can I ask one more quickly? Okay. Have you been following Nepalese politics recently?
Yes, I have been trying to keep up with that.
Okay. A political question then. The Prime Minister has recently dissolved the parliament. And what do you think about that? Is that fair? Is that okay? Is that what Nepal deserves?
Honestly saying, first of all, being a politician is a very tough job. You have so many things to take care of. And I do not come from a political background, so I do not understand how much pressure those people go through to actually keep the country together. I know that politics gives a lot of power, but with power comes great responsibility. And I think it is now up to the Supreme Court to decide whether that was fair or not fair. And everything we need to do right now is to wait and see what they have to say about this. And I personally think that they know what will need to be decided, so.
I just want to ask you a question that I found really interesting here in your little bio. I can see that you had an eating disorder. So I really want to know, because there are lots of young girls who go through it, how did you overcome it? Or are you still working at it? Or if you did, then can you share us the journey?
Yes, of course. It has been the toughest time of my life. It was the time when I realized I hit the rock bottom. And that all came from not believing in myself, not loving myself. I learned how to hate myself for who I am, unfortunately. And that's what led me to believe that I'm not worthy to be who I am, and not worthy to be loved by the society, because I did not fit the standards living in Russia as well. I'm dark-skinned, and I was chubby back then, and I thought that it was my big flaw. I had stretch marks, and that was like a cross, because models on TV, in magazines, they're perfect. They do not have any flaws, and that's what I thought what beauty meant. And I did not realize that it comes from within. And only with age, with time, as I learned psychology as well, which education also really helped me to understand that it comes from within, it comes from your mindset, from understanding who you are and what your worth is. So that message I really want to convey to all the young girls who believe that they're not worthy, because you are you. You only have you in your life. People come and go, so their opinions do not define who you are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And may I also say that you're really beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.
Good morning. Hello, namaste, ma'am. I'm excited.
Let me use this. I've gone through your biodata, and you have a dream. Can you tell us more about your dream?
Definitely. I believe that every individual needs to dream, no matter what. I have a favorite quote of Michelle Obama. every girl, no matter where she lives, deserves an opportunity to develop a dream inside of her. And my dream was to represent every woman and girls in Nepal and throughout the world to an international platform. Coming from a science background and being actively participating in COVID PCR tests, I believe that my dream was to serve the society and nation with my career and with my degree. And that's my biggest dream that I'm living right now by serving my nation and my society.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hello. I try to switch it on. How are you feeling?
I'm good. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I love that smile.
Thank you.
Keep that intact. So, yeah, if you were given a choice between good hair and good skin, what would you go for and why?
I would go for good skin because I already have a good hair. And I have a good hair. Everyone says that you have a really nice and good hair. So I would definitely go for good skin. Yes.
I wish you would have left your hair open so that I would believe you.
But trust me, I do have good hair.
So they say that, you know, education is enlightenment, okay? And in Nepal, the empirical studies say that, you know, at the 9th standard, most of our girls, they drop out the education. So if you are crowned, how do you think that you will be able to, you know, motivate them or inspire them through?
Yes, one of my advocacy is also related to this because we know about Albert Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton, but do we know about UU2, who was a woman who discovered malaria drugs? Do we know about Rosalind Franklin, who discovered the structures of DNA? No. We don't recognize the women in science because women are not given that opportunities from the small age. We say that boys deserve to be a scientist, a pilot, but we don't say that to our daughters. And that's where we are lacking in. Yes, the daughters study up to 9 and 10, but after that, because of family pressure, I don't know what, but because of that, they have to, you know, get married, settle themselves. But I think so that not just by empowering those girls we can do it, but we need to convince the parents, the guardians, to see that not just the sons, the daughters can also move on and be the women in science, be the next pilot and be the next engineer. And this cannot be done just by empowering the girl herself, but we need to bring her whole group of the people that she lives in, the society she belongs to. Once we empower and convince them, we can definitely make the education not just up to 9 and 10, but even higher standards. That's what I believe in.
So that you're a doctor, right?
Sorry, I'm not a doctor. I'm a biotechnologist.
Oh, you're a biotechnologist. So when doing that, what were the challenges you faced, like to take up this field? Were there any protests at home or?
Yeah, honestly speaking, I was not that afraid, but my parents was really afraid of it. And I live with my 86-year-old grandmother, so it was a really big health risk for her. But I believe that this is what I am, this is what I have to do. So without thinking anything, I just jumped into the rings to fight against COVID-19. And this is something I'm really proud of myself.
Thank you. An extra thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I love what I do, and I really appreciate that you all are appreciating it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, I guess. Thank you, Sudhati, and wishing you all the best. Do we have time?
Yes. 15 minutes.
Okay, great. So let me ask you, what is the one thing you've learned during this COVID time other than work related? I mean, something totally different.
Oh yes, I wanted to share this as well. During this COVID time, I went across a video of Hassan Minhaj saying about the ugly truth of fashion. So during watching that video, I was in utter shock that the fast fashions are adding so much into environmental pollution. So I started my own thrift sale where it was an online business. I started my thrift sale where I sold my own, second-hand clothes in the online, and I was really skeptical at the beginning because people would appreciate it not. But it turned out so good that about 80% of my wardrobe was still sold. And just to add a little bit, all the amount that I earned from it, I donated to different organizations and individuals who were in need of it.
Wow, thank you
I'm
so
really-
much, Sudhiti. Good to know you. All the best.
Thank you. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone. How's
Hi
everyone
Rose,
doing?
how are you?
Great, amazing.
Welcome to Nepal.
Thank
So when
you.
was the last time you were here?
Oh, so basically I grew up half in Nepal and half in America, so I've been here for like half my life.
Okay. No, when was the last time you were here before
Last
this?
time, 2019 actually.
Okay.
Not that long ago.
So you are like the youngest candidate for Miss Universe Nepal. How does that feel? Has that ever made you feel insecure, or has that ever played any role, the fact that you are the youngest in the pageant?
Yes, of course. It's really self-doubt, and seeing all these women here really strong, and I'm going to be honest, it is intimidating. And I tell myself, you know, Rose, you've actually experienced so much in life, and just because they're older doesn't mean anything, right?
Definitely not. We all have something to learn from each other.
Exactly.
I'll just quickly ask another question. So, being environmentally conscious, I would like to ask you these questions. Do you apply the 3 R's in your life, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle?
Yes, of course. I'm actually a really huge advocate of global warming, and I actually admire Nepal because when I first came here, I noticed that we didn't have any plastic bags, and that's something that we don't have in America. So yes, I am a huge advocate of the 3 R's.
Rose, my question to you is, you've written something about you'd like to use this platform to empower females around the globe to embrace their femininity.
Yes.
How do you describe femininity? What do you mean by it?
Femininity is really being yourself. And how I do that is by investing in our base, our foundation. And that is in schools, you know. And we have to work on the base, that is children. In school, we have to encourage girls to, you know, not just be submissive, and to actually go out there, be yourself, and actually be the voice.
म थोरै यहाँसँग यौनका कुरा, यौनिकताका कुरा गर्न चाहन्छु, त्यो भनेको talking about sex and sexuality. So because तपाईँ सानो उमेरदेखि पोखरामा जन्मिनु भयो, हुर्किनु भयो हैन?
I was born in Denver, Colorado.
Okay, sorry about that. Because you have mentioned Pokhara here, so I assumed it.
Yes.
My bad. नेपालको नेपालमा पनि हुर्केर बढेर र बाहिर विदेशमा बस्दाखेरि पनि तपाईँ विदेशमा बस्दाखेरि सेक्सुअलिटीलाई कसरी अपनाइन्छ, you know how sexuality is an open end conversation. People are not judged because of how sexual they are or how open they are in conversations about sexuality. The comparatively Nepalma sexual conversation is still a taboo. So having sort of had two different lives, sort of having a Nepali touch and living in America, how do you see that as a young girl about sexuality, being open about it?
So what I noticed in Nepal was there isn't any laws that legalize same-sex marriage. And I was actually really surprised because in Nepal, people are really free. I see it in social media. Everyone is really open how they feel. But I think the government plays a role in this part because we have to make laws that make our fellow LGBTQ community members feel like they can love whoever they want. So in America, I see that there are laws that accept that. But in Nepal, however, we do have people, however, we need laws that will make them feel like they are accepted.
तर मेरो प्रश्न चाहिँ LGBTIQA को बारेमा थिएन. मेरो प्रश्न चाहिँ sex and sexuality को बारेमा थियो. So being a young girl where you sort of, you know, enjoy your sexual freedom and embracing sexuality. तर नेपालको कन्टेक्स्टमा हामी अझै पनि केही हदसम्म त्यो कुरामा conversationsमा हामी conservative छौं. So being a young girl who's been exposed to 2 different worlds, how do you see this effect on young girls about being open about your sexuality, being very sexual in some ways or the others? How do you see that?
So I come from a very conservative family as well, and in America I did notice there is a huge culture gap, right? But in Nepal, I'm surprised, you know, in Nepal we're a lot more open. From TikTok and social media, I see people are a lot more open than what it seems like outside.
What values do you think the world needs more of today?
Peace, definitely peace. The world is so chaotic right now. We all need to take this time to really reflect, love yourselves, and really show that to everybody else too. And we really have to love ourselves first to show the world that that we need more peace.
There are more and more young women today who are choosing not to marry late, to have babies, not to have babies. In this whole equation, how important is motherhood? How important is it to be a mother?
Do you want me to still answer it? Sorry, can you repeat the question again? I got so distracted by the bell.
How important is motherhood today?
I think it absolutely depends on the person, really. I know I want to be a mother. We have this, I don't know, like we have this nurturing feeling to us. And I personally want to be a mother. I want to show that love to somebody. I want to give birth. I want to show life. So it really depends on the person. It's completely fine if you don't want to be a mom. I want to. Totally up to the person. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning and namaste judges. I am Sujita Basnit.
Hi Sujita, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So, you're from the US, right, Sujita?
Yes, I am.
So if you win the crown, will you be staying back?
Of course I will be. I came here to win the crown, to represent Nepal, and to learn and continue to spread awareness about our beautiful culture, our country, and a lot of the issues that are occurring within our nation. So, of course, I'll be spending time here.
You'll be spending time here, or you'll be like here for good?
No, I'll be here. Obviously, once I win the crown, I'll be here for a year. Then I'll definitely continue my advocacy for many years to go. And I would love to continue to go abroad to get knowledge and continue to bring those knowledge and perspectives back to Nepal as well.
So I really want to ask you something. When you wrote in your bio, there is this thing where you want to influence, where you would use your influence and platform to amplify the voice of the voiceless. What do you think about animal rights when you talk about the voiceless?
So I believe animal rights it's very important. This is not my field, and I don't have a lot of exposure when it comes to animal rights or that specific field, but that I do believe it is very important. And again, the earth is very natural, right? And I think if we don't take care of the animals and if we don't take care of our ecosystem, then we're in fact destroying our Mother Earth. So I believe animal rights is very important to continue to establish and maintain our ecosystem.
So how do you think you can do that?
Well, of course, first of all, I need to educate myself on this topic, and then I need to explore and make connections and build networks with people that are already doing good in this field. And I think that's kind of the next step, is to educate myself and to continue to build connections and work in this field.
Hi, Sujita.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Sujita, what is the most important issue your generation is facing today?
The most important issue that I believe that our generation facing is right now is being disconnected. I feel like we're very consumed in our social media and technology, and we see the world through the lens of our phone, not through face-to-face interactions, not through in-person connections. And I think that disconnectedness really it doesn't allow us to really be in one or root with the cause or the issues that we're talking about. And I feel like being in person, being immersed in a situation is really important. And of course, disconnected is something that I think our generation faces.
So you think digital technology is hurting the social environment?
So as a woman in technology, I don't think that digital technology is absolutely hurting our generation, but I do think there are parts of digital technology that do hamper the way our generation perceives the world and perceives the information, observes the information.
Coming from the United States, you're fully aware about Sorry. You're fully aware about what's happening in the political arena in Nepal.
Yes.
There is some rumors that monarchy may come back. Do you think monarchy would be good for Nepal if they come back?
Well, as a nation that was that had a monarchy for a long time, there were a lot of great things that came out of the monarchy, and there are also, with anything, right, there's a positive and a negative side. With the current political situation, I believe that democracy is a great way forward, and if there was a monarchy to come, I think there could be benefits, but again, it depends on how that party decides to pursue their goals and pursue their priorities. Again, with any political party, it's all about prioritization, and it's always about implementation, and I think that's something that's lacking, is that our constitution says a lot, but the implementation, there's a gap in between actually implementing the laws that are placed in the constitution. So with monarchy, if there is a way to bring about implementation, proper implementation, then I think it could be great.
So have you actually lived here in Nepal before?
Actually, I have. When I was younger, I was raised with my grandparents, and I went to lower KG and upper KG here. So I know how to read and write in Nepali. So if you all want to test me on that.
नेपालीमा बोल्न ट्राई गरौँ न त हुन्छ अब
प्रष्ट आउँछ
प्रष्ट बोल्न सक्छु नेपाली अहिलेको यहाँ सिचुएसन हेर्दाखेरि नेपालको एकदमै अनस्टेबल छ नि हैन
हजुर
त्यो कारणले गर्दा lot of people are trying to go abroad विदेश जान खोजिरहेको हुन्छ तिमी विदेशबाट नेपाल आयो अहिलेको युथ्सहरुलाई तिमी के भन्न चाहन्छौ रिगार्डिङ यो बाहिर जाने विषयमा नेपालीमा भन है
सबै नेपालीमा ट्राई गर्छु म आफै नेपालमा म आफै बाहिर जन्मेर नेपालमा फर्केको छु आफ्नो मदरल्यान्डलाई आफ्नो एन्सेस्ट्री होममा कल्चर बुझ्नलाई जान्नलाई र म के भन्न चाहन्छु युवाहरूलाई जो युवाहरू बाहिर जानुभएको छ धेरै हामीले सिक्न सक्छौँ बाहिर गएर त्यो सिकेको चिजहरू हामीले आफ्नो देशमा लिएर आएर देश विकास गर्नुपर्छ र देश विकास गर्नलाई हामीले आफैले गरेनौँ भने कसले गर्छ हैन बाहिर गएर हामी एकदमै भन्छौँ म नेपाली हुँ मलाई गर्व लाग्छ म नेपाली हुँ भनेर सो त्यही गर्व देखाउनलाई हाम्रो घरमा हाम्रो आफ्नै मातृभूमिमा लिएर आएर हामीले पनि देखाउनुपर्छ कि मेरो गर्व छ म नेपाली छु भनेर र म नेपाली युवा हुँ भनेर देखाउनलाई आफ्नो नलेज र ट्यालेन्ट लिएर आएर आफ्नो देश पनि विकास गर्नुपर्छ त्यस्तो लाग्छ मलाई थ्यांक यू जजेस
Hello and good morning, judges.
Hello. Hi. You look gorgeous. You look confident. I'm so happy to be asking this question to you. गाह्रो खाले सोधौँ है त यो नेपालमा अर्गन स्टिलिङ अर्गन के भन्छ त माफिया हैन एकदमै चम्किरहेका छन् उनीहरूले गाउँघरमा गएर किडनी छोड्दिन्छन् के गर्दिन्छन् have you been following up on that?
Yeah, I have following the news related to that matter.
Okay, these things happen in our country, and although we know it, not much has been done. पहिला human trafficking थियो अहिले organ trafficking छ. How do you think you yourself can tackle that?
Thank you for the question. As organ trafficking is increasing in Nepal, because we are very much unaware, people are illiterate actually related to the rural people. Rural people are not aware about the organ trafficking. We are educated, but we are not aware. I think so. And the government need to take action over the rural areas because it needs to be implemented actually, and the penalties needs to be very strict over that areas, I think. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Priya. So I read a bit of your bio. There isn't much here that is very different, but I would like to ask you something about हाम्रो नेपाली सोसाइटीमा कास्ट सिस्टम छ अनि भर्खरै यो लकडाउनमा पनि हामीले देख्यौं. Are you aware of what happened with Navraj BK? हैन सो यो कास्ट सिस्टमलाई चाहिँ हामीले तोड्न लागि या how do we make people aware that there are all these caste discrimination कसरी चाहिँ हामीले यसलाई चाहिँ can we bring awareness and how can we break this taboo Dalit Banum how can we do that according to you I know it's a difficult question but I think it's a very pertinent question अहिले नेपालको सन्दर्भमा किनभने धेरै नै I think this was a terrible case you know what happened right के भयो थाहा छ
हजुर थाहा छ
okay so how did you respond to it number 1 हैन जब तपाईले सुन्नुभयो अनि did you share it on your social media platform and number 3 how do you think are we going to solve this you know visceral भित्रैबाट त्यो के भन्छ एउटा caste discrimination छ नि हाम्रो नेपालमा how do we resolve all these issues do you think
thank you Direct just caste discrimination in our society, it has been taboo since many centuries and I think it shouldn't be there because humanity is more important than these kinds of taboos and whenever I heard these news I felt very bad and even my parents cried hearing these kinds of news and my father even said that I would allow my daughter to marry whoever she wants irrespective of any caste and the government needs to take action strict action related to these things because humanity comes first then the other things comes and this I think the implementation of the law and the amendment of the law is very important thank you
hi tell you something just that the law really doesn't really look into these matters हैन यो भित्रैबाट आउने कुरोहरु यो यस्तो जातको जातपात चाहिँ किन हुन्छ धेरै नेपालमा यो जातपातको इश्युहरु चाहिँ हामीले कसरी सल्भ गर्न सक्छ भन्ने क्वेशन मात्रै हो के because like it's not as though you know you can just say law ले मात्रै सबै सक्दैन for example rape happens and a law doesn't stop it it's basically the mindset your mindset चाहिँ कसरी change गर्छ that is my question okay how are you going to change it if you are going to be a leader supposing if you win this and if you are a leader and you have to talk about this how would you like you know advocate against it against caste discrimination
okay I think the caste discrimination system exists in our society because people are still unaware about all these things they are very much unaware they need to be made aware through the campaigning through the programs and as I'm a semi-qualified chartered accountant I prefer to make people aware about all these things because we are in the 21st century and every human being needs to have the equal rights but it's a sad thing that still the caste system exists in our society and to eradicate all these things I think one needs to step into their shoes so that they can understand that how it feels to be a victim thank you
I have a question about your shoes. I noticed that other participants have been wearing एकदम अग्लो जुत्ताहरु 6 इन्चको तपाईले सानो हिल लाउनु भएको छ किन
Actually, we had a hectic schedule and we've been doing training all hours, so I felt a bit pain in my leg. That's why I preferred the small size. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, but this mic is a little short for me. Okay.
Good morning.
Sorry, you have to sit on your mat. Maybe take the stand away.
Yeah.
Good morning, Anshika.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm here. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very grateful to be here. I've been thinking about this for a long time, so finally I'm here. So it's I'm very grateful.
Thank you. Okay, question to you is, you love meeting people, touching their lives. So do you think that you are a role model? And if you are one, describe yourself.
For this question, I would like to share a small story. I have always been an independent and ambitious person. And to explore my capabilities, I went to Sydney all by myself and started supporting myself at the age of 18. So I think this is a very inspiring story for someone who would want to be independent and who would want to explore their capabilities. So in this way, I think I am a role model.
Hi, Anshika.
Hi, Seema ma'am.
What does your name mean?
The meaning of my name is Beautiful Gift of God. It's a beautiful name given by my parents, and I think I'm a beautiful gift of God. Thank you.
Of course you are. You don't have to think about that. So what is the one quote that you live by, or by whom it is, and how do you follow it?
Okay, I would like to choose the slogan from Nike, just do it. Because anything that you think of, anything that you would want in your life, if you have that confidence just to do it, I think you will be able to do it. So that's my quote for life. Thank you.
Anshika, we talk a lot about gender gap. If you are to be crowned, there's a huge gap in Nepal also. The empirical studies say that there's it'll take 108 years to fill up this gap. How would you be able to narrow the gap? How would you contribute there?
Thank you for the question. The main problem I see is that the opportunity that is in the society is mostly for men. For women, I think we have to create the opportunities. And if this is so, we'll stick by this. We'll create our own opportunities and we'll move forward. And this is the message that I would like to give to the women of the world. And by creating the opportunities, I would like to reduce the gap. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Anshika, hypothetical question. If you were a tour guide in Kathmandu to a fourth grader, a class of let's say 9-10-year-olds, where would you take them and why?
My favorite place is Basantapur because of the cultural heritage, the architect that we see in that area. I think that is very beautiful, and I would definitely love to have a 4-year-old go to that place and educate him about our history, about our culture, and about our architecture. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What has been your biggest success till date, and what have you learned from it?
My biggest success has been overcoming my self-doubt. I was a person who was a little shy and who wouldn't want to, come out in the public and speak and do things that I want to do. But because of the support of my family, of my friends, and all the well-wishers, I have been able to overcome. And I think that this is the biggest success that I've received so far. Thank you.
When you came up on this platform, were there people who kind of tried to pull you down or discourage you, and that you don't belong there? And what did you do about it?
Fortunately, I haven't received any criticism. Maybe it's because I do not see criticism in a way that it pull me down. I see criticism as a feedback for myself. So I try to take it and I try to improve myself. Thank you.
How tall are you? Just want to know.
I am 5 feet 9.5 inches, so 177 centimeters.
Wow. That's nice. Thank you so much, Anshika, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much, Seema ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks.
Namaste, judges.
Hi, Priya. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. A lot of women tend to hold themselves back from claiming their power or from leadership roles. We either we would prefer to sit back, or we would not take the lead at the table and things like that. How can we change this?
I stand here myself proving that women leaders have always
get that power of doing, they can do whatever they can, and they have the leadership potentials to change the nation, to change the attributes. Nepal is so because we don't have much women in power, and that is now it's time to change the concept that women cannot lead. Women can do better, women are leaders, and what we have to focus in, rather than giving us the power, we need to understand without women empowerment, without women coming in the front, without women leading, we cannot change this country. And Nepal is so is because women are not in the front. So it's time for women to come in the front and lead. Like many young change makers like me who are trying our best to come in the lead, take the step forward, and let's do what we can rather than complaining what has already happened. Yes, thank you.
सो यहाँको बायोमा त यहाँको बारेमा त्यति धेरै डिस्क्रिप्सन त गरिएको छैन हैन तर एउटै प्रोफेसनमा भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि र पहिला पनि सँगै काम गरेको कारणले गर्दाखेरि यहाँको बारेमा धेरै थोरै जानकारी त मैले पनि राखेको छु यहाँको आफ्नै सोशल एन्टरप्राइज छ हाती हाती भन्ने हैन त्यसबाट यहाँले विभिन्न महिलाहरूलाई काम दिँदै आउनु भएको छ र उद्यम व्यवसायमा महिलाहरूको सहभागिता हामीले अझै कसरी बढाउन सक्छौं होला किनभने यहाँले विगत केही वर्षदेखि त्यो एन्टरप्राइजमा पनि काम गरिरहनु भएको छ र अहिले पनि अरु फोरमहरुमा पनि तपाई आफै पनि व्यस्त हुनुहुन्छ त्यही भएर
निकै वर्षदेखि भन्दा ठ्याक्कै भन्नुपर्दा 7 वर्षदेखि काम गरिरहेको छु महिला सशक्तिकरणको रूपमा तर महिला सशक्तिकरणमा नि के भन्दाखेरि महिला आर्थिक सशक्तिकरणमा अब यसको लागि चाहिँ म के गर्ने प्रयास गर्छु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफ्नो भोइसलाई एम्प्लिफाई गर्ने ट्राई गर्छु यसैले मिस नेपालको स्टेज मिस युनिभर्स नेपालको स्टेज मेरो लागि एउटा प्लेटफर्म भइ आउँछ यी प्लेटफर्मबाट म के गर्न सक्छु भन्दाखेरि कि म सुरुवात गर्न चाहन्न कि अब म मेरो देशलाई यस्तो गर्छु एउटा प्लेटफर्मको युज मात्रै गर्न चाहन्छु कि वेयर आई क्यान एम्प्लिफाई माई भोइस रिगार्डिङ women economical empowerment जहाँ महिलाहरूलाई गएर म यति भन्न चाहन्छु कि स्किल बेस्ड ट्रेनिङमा भोकेशनल ट्रेनिङमा हामीले विश्वास राख्नुपर्छ किनकि once we equip ourselves then we can sustain our life we can sustain we don't need to be dependent on anyone to sustain our own lives हाती हाती एउटा मार्फत मात्रै हो जहाँबाट हामी आवाज निकालेर एउटा अध्यक्ष भएको रूपले चाहिँ महिला सशक्तिकरणलाई चाहिँ एकदमै प्राथमिकता दिई म अघि आइरहेछु र यसमा म लगायत कयौं महिलाहरू हुन्छ जुन अनसङ भएर काम गरिरहनु भएको छ यसैले यो एउटा सेलिब्रेसन हुन्छ यो एउटा यस्तो सोच हुनुपर्छ कि जहाँ हामी अगेन वी कम टुगेदर अनि यो जर्नी भनेको मेरो लागि चाहिँ वुमेन इन्स्पायरिङ वुमेनको जर्नी हो त्यही भएर हजुर
यो कतिवटा बिजनेस फोरम्सहरुमा यो डिस्कसन्सहरु प्यानल्सहरु धेरै भइरहन्छ हैन तपाईले #manal भनेर सुन्नुभयो होला अल मेल प्यानलमा मात्रै धेरै फोकस्ड भयो यसलाई हटाउनु पर्छ महिला सहभागिता खै त भनेर हामी कति आवाज उठाइरहेका छौं स्पेशली बिजनेस कम्युनिटीमा एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिपको जर्नीमा पनि कति जना यु नो अनुपमा म्याम हुनुहुन्छ सीमा म्यामहरु हुनुहुन्छ यहाँ हैन इभन चारु म्याम पनि हुनुहुन्छ Okay, so sorry about that. Mahila सहभागिता एकदम Hello, mic check. Okay. So यो महिला सहभागिता हामीले कसरी बढाउन सक्छौं डिस्कसन्समा म्यानेजमेन्ट लेभलमा लिडरशिप रोल्सहरुमा कि महिलाहरु साच्चै बिजनेस या एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिपमा नआएका हुन् र हामीसँग त्यस्तो कोही महिला नै हुनुहुन्न र जो चाहिँ अगाडि आएर प्यानलमा आएर आफ्नो आइडियाजहरु राख्न सकुन्
I'll be very honest here. We cannot ignore the fact that we live in a patriarchy mindset. And no matter how much we try, every day we are fighting this battle. This battle is always there, and it starts from our own houses. And that's why I've been saying this from the front, why economical independence is important, because we make our own decisions. We don't ask for approvals of what we should be doing. So that's why when I see the less participation of women, then I only can see that we are stuck in this patriarchy. And patriarchy is not the reason, but it is a stuck mindset, and we have to fight for it. And the only reason we fight for it, like I can see the panels full of women, and this needs to be highlighted. This needs to be in the front line. This needs to be something groundbreaking. And me standing here and saying anything also needs to be like, I'm speaking up for myself. I'm speaking, my representation, my participation is the proof that all other women can also do it. So it's all about, rather than just focusing on what could be right, we should also cannot ignore the fact of patriarchy, and we balance that by coming in the forward, breaking all the stereotypes, breaking all the the barriers that we have, all the limitations we have been told to live with it. I think we don't need any boundaries. We are women, and that's a feeling of freedom that we all have, and we should live with it and be proud and just come and participate. We don't need anyone's approval. Yes. Thank you so much, judges. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Jojo.
Hi, namaste.
Namaste, Jyoti. So, here in your bio, you've written that you are an alpha woman.
Yes.
Can you please describe what alpha woman means?
Honestly speaking, I haven't looked for like the official definition of an alpha woman, but I believe I am one. Am I properly audible? Okay. Alpha woman because it takes a lot of courage to be you, to be real. And I wish if all the young girls and everyone would be just accept themselves the way they are and be real, because it takes a lot of courage to be real. And alpha woman is someone like my mom, someone like me, you know, someone who goes against the odds, someone who goes against the norms of the society. And that is an alpha woman to me.
Okay. So what do you think about the balance between the feminine and the masculine?
In terms of alpha woman or just in general?
In general, as a human being, we need both the, you know, the male and the feminine in us. So what do you think about that? Does that hamper if you are alpha woman? What do you think about that?
It shouldn't, it doesn't.
So do you believe in divine femininity as well? Divine feminine? What do you think about that?
So, I'm a feminine, but if the reason why I would call myself an alpha woman is because I have the masculinity of, you know, being an outspoken woman, and I believe all of a proper female, a proper feminist should have some masculinity in their selves. Yes.
Exactly. So you do believe in balance, right?
I do. I do.
Okay. One more question. So what's your vision for yourself?
Honestly, a year ago, I knew where I exactly wanted to be. Right now, I do not know. But what I do know is wherever I end up, I want to be happy. And I'm already working towards being happy and living a happy life. A year ago, I wanted to be in Nepal. A few months ago, I wanted to be in Belgium. Right now, I'm back in Nepal. So it's always, you know, going with the flow and see where I'm going to end up. But right now, enjoying the time, enjoying this moment right now, and we'll see where time takes me.
Hi, Jyoti.
Good morning. Bonsoir.
Good morning.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour. Well, of course, yes, I will not ask the question in French, no.
No,
because,
please don't do that.
that would be improper. Jyoti, living in Belgium, you are planning to come back to Nepal in the future? Or, I mean, if you are elected, would you return to Nepal for good, or?
So thank you for the question. It's a question that's very close to my heart. I always wanted to come to Nepal, but my parents wanted me to finish my education in Belgium. And a year ago, I came with a vision of starting something in Nepal, which is Belgian chocolates. I wanted to implement something that's close to my heart, and Belgium has made me the way I am now. But coming back to Nepal would be, you know, blending the both culture together. Then lockdown happened, and many things didn't work out as I planned. I'm taking a break right now of, you know, putting pressure on myself and starting something. But being here in Nepal right now is already a step towards wanting to build a future in Nepal. And I believe I want to encourage all of the NRNs, young people residing abroad, to encourage them and come back to Nepal. And we can do something here. We can build up something here in Nepal. Thank you.
Thank you. Being living in Europe, you may be close to European politics. And what is your opinion about Brexit? Do you think it's a good economic solution for UK?
Honestly speaking, I have never felt like UK was a part of the Europe. You know, they have their own currency, they have their own British attitude. So when the Brexit happened, I was like, okay, goodbye. I still hope to, you know, travel properly with my Belgian citizenship to UK without the visa. But personally, it didn't affect
a lot on me. And I think the British people are pretty happy that they're not a part of the Europe anymore, and the European Union is happy they're not a part of it either.
All right. What is your idea of happiness and success in life?
Happiness and success, they blend perfectly with each other. Being happy is also a form of being successful. It doesn't mean that you have to win a competition or like you have to impress someone with your words, but just being happy in the way you're living and the way you are doing right now is a form of being successful. That's my sign. I have to leave. Thank you. I had a wonderful time with you, and I wish you all a good day.
Thank you.
Namaste, my name is Roshni Khatri. Hi, how are you? Namaste. Yes, I have. I am nervous though. That is always there, but it's in a good way.
Hi, Roshni. I think I have to ask the question here. What is one life lesson that you think everyone should know and everyone should go through?
That is to never give up. Never give up. This life is something that we only get once. And the opportunities are something that we have to grab the best out of. And we might see failures, we might see downfalls, we might see losses, but this life has to continue. And we should never give up. That's the one lesson I have learned. And I think that's the reason I'm standing here, not giving up on my dreams, despite all the hardships I have been through, and despite all the things that I have gained in my life. That's one lesson I have learned.
Hi, Roshni. You look
Hi.
lovely today.
Thank you so much.
And you're so confident. What has been your greatest success till date?
My greatest success has to be that I have fallen and I have managed to come back. That has been my greatest success. I don't say that I am the happiest person. I don't say I'm the most charming person all the time, but I say that I'm a positive person and I have fallen and I've managed myself to get back. And that's how I have been living my life till date.
Continue, Gaurav. Your question was so interesting. You don't look like a person who has fallen, you know, like the typical person, the fallen person. How did you fall? Can you please share? What was it?
Well, I would like to call myself a person with an emotional range of either 0 or 100. So that has costed me my relationship, my job sometimes, and that has always kept me at a vulnerable state. I was at a verge that I might lose my job or career, and I managed to overcome that. I managed to gain the positivity from all the things that surrounds me, from my family, from my friends, from the lessons that I've learned in life, and that's how I have overcome it. It has been a hard journey, but I have managed to be here.
I want to ask you a question that I've been wanting to ask a lot of beauty queens. Beauty has changed its meaning through the years, you know. And so like a lot of beauty queens that I know come with an aura where they try to create an aura around them saying that we're better than you, we're more beautiful than you. But I feel that all that has changed now. So as a person who's, you know, an aspiring beauty queen, how do you make other women feel comfortable around you?
Possibly this is one of the stages that everybody has eyes on. And I'm not making this up, but I am somebody that walks on the street every single day. I used to walk on the street every single day to go to school. I was not born with a silver spoon. But yet, I managed to be here, and I have not forgotten my roots. I am standing here to expand the potential of dreams for every little girl who thinks that she is not enough. And if somebody sits around me, I think they can absolutely feel that around me as well. And despite being a beauty queen, I have not forgotten my roots. I have not forgotten what I've come from. And I think that everybody who believes that their dream is valid, they should absolutely fight for it. They should be there. They should be out there, open about it, and very thriving for whatever they dream.
Okay, so how do you actually show that you are approachable? And because I feel now beauty is totally different from what we used to conceive it as, because now beauty is considered as being kind, as being compassionate. So how do you create that aura when you come into a room?
I would start with a smile. I would just start with a smile. I'd greet everybody around me. And I'd like to approach the conversation myself first. Because I look very intimidating sometimes because of the way I appear, maybe. I wear makeup and all. But I don't want them to feel that way. So approach myself towards them. And that's how I would make it.
एउटा प्रश्न है नेपालको राजनीति आहा आहा ठुलो प्रश्न है नेपालको राजनीतिमा आउनुपर्ने बदलाव के हो हजुर
महिलाले अहिलेसम्म जसरी हाम्रो I'll go with English. Women these days have changed and evolved so much. We can see women panelists over here. I am standing here, and we can see our president. She's also one of the women. But at so many cases, women, and especially in politics, might be like tagged as the window dressing, just like that. But I think that perception should be changed in politics, that women are not just the faces, not just 33% representation, but actual being. They're not the second citizen, but they are the half of the Nepali population. I think that should be very prominently done, applied in our Nepali politics.
आफै लोकसेवा आयोगको एक्जाम दिन जानुहुन्छ
मैले अहिलेसम्म दिएको छैन
जाने प्लान गर्नु भएको छ कि would you go or would you not go why yes why not
I have loved what I am doing so far. I have professionally involved myself into filmmaking, bringing their stories. I would love to carry their story rather than going myself and defeating the title. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Judges.
Good morning. Hi. This is Michael. Hi, good morning, Dikta.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really excited.
Okay, that's nice. So, just a light question. Which is your favorite song?
So my favorite song right now is Taylor Swift. I have been a great fan of her, and it is a Cardigan because I've been listening to her from a long time, and she was into some pop and rock and roll, but now she has come back with who she was from the first album because I really loved her first album, so I can really connect to that. So it is my favorite song right now, Cardigan by Taylor Swift.
It's also a winter song, sounds like.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
एउटा स्वास्नी मान्छेमा हुनुपर्ने गुण मुख्य गुण के होला र तपाईमा त्यो छ भन्दै त्यसलाई तपाईले कसरी यो युटिलाइज गरिरहनु भएको छ
So a woman, I believe, should have the patience, most importantly, because a woman is in such a place all the time that she should listen from so many people, and she should also have that perseverance because you are the main person of the family, and people do not acknowledge you like you should be. And I think with patience, with grace, and with love and care, she is giving every time to everyone, but you are not being acknowledged. And I think patience is the one important thing that she should have, because at the end of the day, no matter what it is, people will come back to you at home or at anywhere for that one safe and warm place. It is you. So have patience and be loving as always.
Okay. So, why is work-life balance so important, and how would you balance your life?
Work-life?
Yeah, work-life balance.
Okay, so work-life balance is very important. Being a woman, I think like you are more expected to be at home and you know, do the house chores and everything. And for women especially, work balance is important. It is not only, we are not only limited to the household chores. We also are, we can go out in the world and show what we have got. So balance is really important, and we should not forget who we are. Yes, we are supposed to be at home. Yes, it is our responsibility, but being ourselves and showing our potential is also our responsibility. So balance is important.
Awesome. Dikta, So you've written here that you won your first pageant at 13. What was that?
It was Little Miss Kathmandu, and I was in grade 8, and I participated it from school, and I won it.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you see all your contestants today, the participants, they're all really good and confident. What sets you apart from all of them? What is your strength, and why do you think that you should win?
So I think my advocacy is my strength, and professionally I'm a doctor. I'm into pharmaceuticals, and I believe I can align my learnings with this pageant, because pageant was all about fashion and glamour. What I believed when I was 13, I used to think like that, but with time my perspective had changed a lot, because the brave, bold, beautiful is not just fashion and glamour. It is something that comes within, and my medical field, I want to combine it together so that people would know that beauty pageant is more, and it is so impactful, and medicine, which is very important to us, can also come up with this, and I want to be impactful.
Being a doctor, and now we all are suffering from COVID-19 scenario, how would you help the mental health of Nepalese people who are going through this trauma?
Well, mental health is very important. We only do focus on physical health, but mental health is really important. It also decides how you are feeling physically. So I think in this pandemic time, what we have to focus is on the sites we can do, because we all know vaccines are still on controversy and it is not like up to date, but we should focus on what we can do. It is very easy. Social distancing, having good food, nutritious food, hydrating ourselves, it is something we can do, and we should make people believe that yes, that can work as well. So I think it is the simple steps that you can do, not go to the vaccines and worry about, oh my God, we don't have vaccines. We should not think of like that. We should do what we can do, and I think that is really simple, because it is just a virus and we can be safe from it if we follow the guidelines properly.
Thank you, Dikta. One last question, I think. Do we have time? Yes, yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, where do you want to see me? Well, honestly, where I want to see myself is maybe the first Miss Universe Nepal 2020, and also the Miss Universe, hopefully. And I want to be someone just like today, like I'm advocating, and like I have that importance of my advocacy. I know it. I want to feel the same way 5 years later, and working on it and impacting on crowd. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dikta. I wish I was a guy when you first reacted. That was such a natural reaction. It was really nice. Thank you.
Thank you
and all
so
the best.
much. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angel Lama.
Congratulations on being here. Such
Thank
a
you so
historical
much.
achievement, definitely. Super proud of you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank
So
you
what
so
do you
much.
think your positioning, being in Miss Universe Nepal, being a trans woman, how do you think it has impacted the LGBTIQA community, and what would you like to say to other individuals who are out there and who are listening to you right now?
I think I would love to say, give this message to everyone out there that not only LGBTIQ people in particular, but there are different diverse sectors of women in our society, which a lot of people, a lot of mainstream media and a lot of pageant doesn't show. And I think I'm here to show the diversity of women that we always had in our society. Thank you.
What is this one, misconception that people have about being a trans woman, which you would like to tell them that it's not true?
I think the biggest misconception about being a transgender would be, me myself, people would tell me that being a transgender is a mental disease or gender dysphoria. But I convince those people that it's not a gender dysphoria, but me myself. I'm being the 100% of what I am, and that doesn't make me any less of any woman or any less than any human being. So that's the biggest misconception, and I'd like to foray the message of saying to everyone that being a transgender is not a mental disease or gender dysphoria. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Angel, is it more important to be loved or is it more important to love?
First of all, I have always thought of giving love and expecting not much in return, because life is always about giving love and respect to each other. As I've advocated since 4 years for marriage equality, which is basically about love. So I think love means you should give more from your side rather than expecting someone to give you or validate you. So I think it's about giving your 100%, and it also comes as in love means love starts within yourself. So when you start loving yourself, then you'll probably start loving others. So yeah, you should start love yourself, and giving love is important rather than expecting love from other.
What is the impact you want to leave by participating in Miss Universe?
As I've already mentioned in the first question, I wanted to showcase the diversity of women that we always had in our society. And I'm here to foray the message that I am a woman and I'm here to represent not only LGBTIQ community, but the diverse sector of women that we always had in our society. Thank you.
हजुर अस्ति भर्खर मात्रै यहाँले देख्नुभयो होला सोशल मिडियामा एउटा फोटो निकै भाइरल भएको थियो एउटा पोलिटिकल र्याली प्रोटेस्टमा चाहिँ एउटा कुकुर डगलाई नेताजी जस्तो बनाएर टाँगेर जबरजस्ती घिसार्दै लगेको यहाँले फोटो पनि देख्नुभयो होला यो देख्दाखेरि र यो किन गर्नु हुँदैन सर्वप्रथम त हामीले एनिमल्सहरूलाई किन त्यसरी प्रयोग गर्नु हुँदैन अफकोर्स त्यो हामीले यहाँ बसेका टेबलमा बसेका व्यक्तिहरूले बुझेका छौँ तर यहाँको प्रतिक्रिया मैले जान्न चाहे why doing that itself is wrong, and what kind of message are we sending across to the younger generation people today?
I think being born as a living beings in this earth, in this universe rather, that we all have rights to breathe, we all have rights to, enjoy our freedom and live our life freely. And it doesn't only particularly focuses on human beings, but animals too. And I think I blame the society who has patriarchal mindset about animal not being part of living things. They just see them as a pets, they just see them as their accessories, and I think people should really see them as one of the living being and respect their freedom, respect them as an individual. And I think by doing that, as you have mentioned earlier, we are sending message to the next generation that pets are just, you're basically comparing the pets to human or the political states of the certain area, and I think that shouldn't be done. And I want all people to see pets as also a living being, and yeah, they should have their rights too.
And we should respect them. They also have animal rights.
Thank you.
So you have worked with Blue Diamond Society, which advocates on LGBTIQA rights. You've worked with them in various sectors, in consulting, in counseling, in things like that as well. What has been the biggest challenge in your profession?
The biggest challenge has to be, accepting myself and letting people know that accepting yourself too. It has been the biggest challenge since the day one, because accepting yourself is the most important in LGBTQ community. Basically, it's important to overall for all people. And I think that's the most important thing, and we try to overlook that thing in lot of time. So I think that has to be the biggest challenge, loving yourself and accepting yourself. Thank you.
Namaste everyone, I am Dr. Erika Ranawat.
Hi.
Hello
Hi,
sir,
Erika.
hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you sir?
You're coming from Pokhara.
Yes, yes, Pokhara.
If you are the government, what would you do to help recovering the tourism post-COVID? What would you advise to the government?
Okay. So we all know the current situation of COVID, and the COVID, it has own pros and cons. And talking about COVID and tourism, as COVID had given so much of negative aspect to the tourism field, but it can be a positive part too, as tourism has come to in a stop position after a COVID, but after this, after the whole lockdown phase and after the whole stop halting phase, tourism can grow, tourism can do very much. And me being a Pokhreli, being a person from Pokhara, as Nepal, not only Pokhara, as Nepal is a place where Nepal can do so much in the field of tourism. So yeah, COVID can be a positive aspect, and we can do so much of things. And about the government, government can give so much focus, and government can work, and government can encourage the tourism to come to the Nepal, as Nepal is such a very beautiful place. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, being from Pokhara, you must be familiar with trekking.
Sorry.
You must be familiar with trekking, the trekking industry.
Yeah, trekking, yeah.
Now, we heard that a lot of trekking paths have been polluted, quite a lot of pollution by tourism coming and not respecting the countries. What would you do about that?
Okay, so yeah, Pokhara is a very hot spot for trekking, and but now the problem is, even in trekking, people are not much conscious. They are throwing their stuffs, they are throwing the rubbish everywhere, and they are not aware about the environment, the sustainability, but we must focus on the environment and work for the sustainability.
So, Erika, right?
Yes, Erika.
I always mispronounce your name. So, I know you're a doctor.
Yes.
So, you're a medical doctor.
Yes.
What do you think about the, Ayurvedic medicine? And what are your thoughts about, do you think Ayurvedic medicine works, or do you think only the Western medicine works? What's your opinion?
Okay. So, being a doctor, I believe in Western medicine, but there is no less than that I could say that Ayurvedic medicine won't work, because Ayurvedic medicine has its own part, and Western medicine has its own part. And as I believe that there are some parts of our body that Western medicine doesn't work, but Ayurvedic medicine can do more. So even being a doctor, or even being a person who believes in Western medicine, but I'm that kind of person who encourages to use Ayurvedic medicine too. Yeah.
Okay, so the father of medicine, Western medicine, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine."
Sorry?
Let food be thy medicine, Bansani, Hippocrates, right? So do you encourage your patients to focus also on nutrition? Because I know medical students don't get any knowledge regarding the nutrition part, but do you encourage them to look into their diet?
Definitely. Diet is one of the most important factor for good health, for good mind, and for good soul. And yes, I focus so much to patients, to everyone, to focus on diet, on healthy diet. And yes, diet is most important.
So do you do your own research, because you are not educated in that field? Do you do your own research?
Yeah, I do.
You do? So which one was the latest research that you've read upon regarding nutrition? Is there any latest research that you've looked into?
Yeah, your session has helped me so much, actually. And recently I looked in the vegan part. As veganism has become a new trend, not just the trend, but it is good for our health, body, and mind and soul to process well through the mind and through the body, physically or mentally.
So was there any particular research that you've done? That's my question. Any particular research that you've done?
Yeah, actually I have done. But during my college days, we had a community medicine subject where we have to work for the nutritional assessment. And yes, we have done that. I have done that.
Right.
And I have done for the child health and malnutrition, and I'm working for it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, judges. This is me, Prerana.
Hi, Paramita. You look gorgeous, so confident.
Thank you so much.
As I've always been intrigued, with one. I just cannot keep the thing out of the equation that you have been in a lot of public speculation.
Yes.
And yes, as we all have sinned, you have also sinned, if I may call that.
Yes.
And how is it that you find strength to go and participate, go and take one more chance in life? Or in other words, how is it that you're still standing?
Okay, thank you. I'd be very honest. There were times when I thought that I wanted to end my life, but I was raised by two beautiful, strong, and resilient women, and that would be a disappointment if I had ended my life. So thinking of them, I moved forward, and I gathered all the courage, and this platform, Miss Universe Nepal platform, is my second chance in life. And to all those who have made mistakes in life, I want them to look at me and see me and have courage to again go forward and get a second chance in life.
My question was, what are your strengths? Like, what keeps you standing? Because I would like to learn that attribute as well from you. Please teach me how to do it.
Well, I always believed in myself, and I believe that I have so much more potential to do more in life, and that never stopped me. So that is why, that's one of the main reasons I participated in this Miss Universe Nepal 2020.
Hi, Parimita.
Hello.
From one musician to another, how are you doing?
I'm doing
I loved
good.
your song, the one
Thank
that you
you.
just wrote. I wanted to ask you about your music journey because, I just want to step away from all that for the moment. How do you write a song? And when you write it, do you write the lyrics first or do you make the music before the song, before you write the lyrics? What do you do when you write a song?
So when I write a song, first I get inspired and I think what to write about. So rather than writing about other topics, I think about what will empower people more. So my first song is Queen, and one of the lyrics is that, why do you want to look like a Barbie when God made you a queen? So that is to empower not only women, but everyone. So that was my first song, and I'm so happy and proud that Queen is my first song, and the empowerment of people. I actually decided to empower people in that song, Queen. So, yeah.
I have to ask you this question, whether I like it or not, or whether, I don't know whether this will be controversial, but I have to ask you. Okay. How do you plan to repair the mistakes that you have made? Like, what are the steps that you have taken to repair your journey, like whatever mistakes you have made?
Well, I can't repair whatever mistakes I've made in my life.
As much as you can, as much as is possible,
Yeah, but now what I can be...
The retribution to it.
Yes. So what I can be is the best versions of myself. That is also one of the main reasons why I'm here, to learn to be a better person and do my best to help those who in need.
Thank you so much.
Your celebrityness, because you're a celebrity, we all both of us have been asking something this, questions related to that. Let me ask you something else. Nepali राजनीति चाहिएको बदलाव के हो हाम्रो देशमा? in the positions, in the के भन्छ नेपालीमा भने हैन यो जुन चाहिँ नेपाली राजनीतिमा चाहिएको बदलाव के हो भन्नुस्
Can you ask me that again in English?
Yes. What is the change we need in the current Nepalese political scenario?
So the current crisis, we all know that our president has resolved the constitution. That I know that much, and we all know that we are a democratic country. I know. So after being a democratic country, अनि सबैजनाको opinion राखेर पनि the prime minister चाहिँ उहाँले चाहिँ अरूको नसुने dissolve गरिदिनु भएको छ हैन. So that is quite हामी सबै publicलाई पनि चित्त नबुझेको कुरा हो, because after all at the end of the day it's democratic country अनि सबैको opinion सबैको voice equally important अनि त्यो resolve गरेको कुरा चाहिँ मलाई अलिकति चित्त नबुझेको अवस्था भन्न चाहन्छु.
On that note, if you would choose somebody in Nepal to lead us, if you were given the choice, suddenly, and you are allowed to choose anybody to lead our country out of this COVID and out of this situation that we are all in, who would it be? Go and you.
I would definitely choose Anuradha Koirala.
And why?
Because she has helped more than 12,000 women out of sex trafficking. She's such an inspiration idol, and I look up to her, and that is why. If I had to choose, I would choose Anuradha Koirala.
Thank you, Paramita. You're so brave and confident, and I wish you the best for your future.
What has been your biggest success so far?
Biggest success? I think I've still yet to achieve my biggest success in life. But when I think my biggest success would be to win Miss Universe Nepal 2020 and then go to the Miss Universe stage and win the Miss Universe crown. That would be my biggest success. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Nancy here. How are you all doing today? Good. Good to see you, Seema ma'am. You
Hi,
look
Nancy.
lovely as always.
Good to see you. Thank you. You too. You're looking awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nancy, I've read your quote. It says, "There's always a rainbow after a storm." Okay, and it reflects your life story also. Can you express to us what was the rainbow and what was the storm?
All right. So I strongly do believe that a warrior possesses a character who has a willpower in themselves. So I've been through all the obstacles that was in my path, and that led to me having anxiety disorder and depression. I got diagnosed with it. I was all by myself in California, all alone, no family, in the COVID global pandemic situations, and I was being hospitalized time and again in a week, like 3 times, 4 times, several times, but I fought it all by myself, and that willpower, that strength came out straight from my mother, my family support. So there were like many times I was happy, I was doing great, I was like always bubbly. It was always all the time about fun, Nancy bubbly. But all of a sudden, since January 2020 started, that was when I suffered all of this. And I still am saying that I am a survivor because I survived all alone, just with my willpower. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that's a nice, great story. So you were in California?
Yes, I was.
And you had gone to study, or you lived there?
Yes, I went for study purpose. So I recently did my graduation and specialization in mass communication and rhetoric. And yeah, so that was it. Just for the study
purpose. You came down
purpose.
during COVID times right now.
Yes.
When was this?
It was just 1.5 months ago.
Oh, so, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I want to know, what does humor mean to you? Because being a comedian, I mean, I think that's one of the very important life skills that one should have. So what does humor mean to you, and do you have any favorite comedians that you follow?
Right here standing in front of me, you. Humor absolutely means being a beautiful human being with, I think I'm a joker. I tell myself I'm a joker because I could make people laugh. And that's one of the best quality in me, that no matter what I've been through, nobody could tell that she has struggled so much inside. And I do not show my pain, I show my power so that I could make others laugh just to make and create the happiness. So I'm a joker and I'm proud of that. So that's the humor for me, being a proud joker itself.
That's amazing. In fact, they say you should laugh at yourself, not let anybody else laugh at you.
Exactly.
So it's the best way to.
Yes, of
handle
course.
And see, we always talk about economic power for women. You know, and in Nepal, we have 1 lakh plus registered companies who run business. But amongst that, only 14% are women-led companies. If you are to win this crown, how would you, inspire women to make sure that they are economically sound?
Right. So what I believe is like we all women has to have a strong mindset, right? If given an opportunity for me to win this Miss Universe 2020 crown, I definitely believe that I could empower, because the Miss Universe title itself is it's all about empowerment, it's all about being international, it's all about being courageous enough to talk and aspire to inspire people. So definitely not just in the economical sector, there are several sectors that I would like to put my voice forward and be the voice of voiceless and actually put that transition into an action. So thank you so much.
So if given a campaign, Women for Women, how would you take it forward in Nepal?
Women for Women is all the celebration of the femininity. I believe that I wouldn't say I'm a feminist, I believe in humanist. Being a humanist is equals to femininity for me. So definitely, if everyone is put on together and like we stand for each other, being like holding our hand and just one step, I still believe, and I still had a quotation that caught my mind, was from my role model, Mother Teresa. She said, you don't have to feed several people to show love, you just have to feed one. So that meaning means like if one could be able to enough and take the challenge and step forward, then that definitely could bring change. And that means if one woman could empower just one woman, then absolutely there's no question that it won't be a difficult time to bring a change in our country.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, so much, and all the best to you.
Thank you.